President Nelson Chamisa has said time and again, the vision of the Citizens Coalition for Change is to put citizens at the center of all processes that concern them. The vision of the candidate selection process is to ensure that we build a citizens' dream team that will bring transformation, a new governance culture, and ethical leadership for Zimbabwe. Now, at every single community selection center yesterday, we saw large numbers, unprecedentedly large numbers of citizens thronging the venues and excited to make their voices heard and to nominate candidates of their choice. Obviously, this is a vast process which includes nomination in 36,000 villages across all provinces in Zimbabwe, 1,970 wards, 210 constituencies. It really is no small task. And so we really want to thank all citizens who turned out in their numbers for their renewed demonstration of support for their project and the citizens' movement. Now, the report of the Elections Directorate and the overview report of the independent panel is that the process was a huge and resounding success. Obviously, we're going to defer proceedings shortly to the independent panel so that they can share their findings and an update on their own processes. I want to make it abundantly clear that in no way, shape, or form do I speak from that panel. Do any members of or change champions work with the panel? They are completely independent. Now, admittedly, there were a few teething problems in limited areas. However, safeguards were swiftly put in place to ensure that the process remains transparent, fair, and robust. There were also logistical challenges in limited areas, again, caused by our perilous road network, which made the 36,000 villages that I made reference to very difficult to access. We obviously had challenges with erratic telephone network issues, all of which are obviously testament to the dilapidated state of the nation, something we will no doubt fix when the citizens' movement takes over governing this nation. Now, our guarantee is that the final result will be a true expression of the will of the people. I can guarantee that there will be no imposition of candidates anywhere, and there will be no double candidates in any ward or any constituency. The template or the methodology that we've put in place following consultation and widespread input from experts and others really serves to ensure that the process is watertight and builds a team that every citizen can be proud of. Now, there were isolated incidents of violence by agents provocateurs or agents who were provoking us. Violence is a ZANU PF culture, and we condemn it in its totality. Any person found responsible for violence or for causing violence will be automatically disqualified from any form of participation in our candidate selection process, whether by nomination, by making their voice heard, or even standing. Investigations have already commenced in the limited cases where such reports were received. Now, for the avoidance of doubt, over 90%, the majority of the nominations happened without incident and were transparent. Any complaints by any citizen are being taken very seriously, which is something obviously the independent panel will deal with, and they'll obviously give details on how those complaints can be made. Now, when all is said and done, the progress we've made so far points to an exciting array of candidates of all age groups, races, creeds, tribes, ethnicities, and a true representation of our rich diversity as a nation. For us, this process is a celebration of what can be achieved where citizens are at the center and have the democratic space to make their voices heard on a platform that seeks to ensure that they come first in all matters to do with them. Now, without further ado, I'm going to defer proceedings to the Citizens Independent Selection Panel, who are going to give their report and their updates. Thank you.
So thank you, spokesperson, and welcome to members of the voting stage. My name is Shepard Ngandu, the secretary for the independent election panel. So we started our work yesterday. Our committee comprises of about 15 members who have been deployed countrywide in respective provinces. As has already been said, as our work started, we've got so many challenges that we are facing related to issues of network, bad road networks around the country. So it was difficult to reach some of the areas out there. But we are glad that so far we've received good positive results, of which at least 70% of the constituencies, the nominations have come so far. So they are still undergoing verification, which process started just around 2. And we only have a few constituencies in which we have had confirmation. The few challenges are that, for example, in WAD, etc., there's too many, as has been said by Fazai, about 1,970 wards in the country. So it will take time to validate all the same. But so far, we've validated a few constituencies, which I'm going to share with you. For example, here in Harare, constituency Harare West nominees, where we have Bongai Tome. We also have Joanna Mamonge. For Bindura South, MP nominees, we've got George Guarada, Moses Mafara, Sidin Mapeba. For Mabuku MP nominees, we've got Munyaradzi, Kufa Akutizwi, and James Chidako. Then constituents from Mount Darwin South nominees, Rizen Gura, and Godfrey Chaita, and also Ian Matthew. So we will continue with the process, and will then also release the names as and when they become available. But so far, these are the names that are available. So in terms of the rest of the other issues, we'll defer to.
Thank you. So obviously, these results would have been issued and these updates would have been given on a rolling basis. It just so happens that we've got the Easter break, but immediately when the Easter break is over on Tuesday, we're going to continue with almost daily updates, which will obviously be delivering the feedback or the returns of who has been nominated. And it's important to stress, as has been highlighted before by our elections department, that the process has at least 4 stages. So nomination is only the first aspect. Following nomination, there's going to be a vetting process. And so the fact that one has been nominated is not the end of the situation. It doesn't mean that you are yet eligible to be a candidate. After the vetting process is complete, we're also going to have a process where stakeholders, key stakeholders in various communities are also going to be consulted and have an opportunity to make their voice heard and make representations on who they would like to represent them and any comments they may have on those who've been nominated. Thereafter, the very important community consensus building part of the panel starts, where there'll be citizen caucuses, where citizens will come together, be told there's X candidate, there's Y candidate, who do we prefer and why. They'll have an opportunity to also make their case, deliver a very brief manifesto of what they plan to deliver in their ward or in their constituency, and also to take questions from the community concerning their eligibility to run. Obviously, as has been highlighted, that factors such as integrity, ties and service to a community, commitment to the cause, any expertise, any special skills one has, obviously taking into account the need to ensure that we comply with the Constitution on matters such as disability inclusion and gender parity. So at the end of the day, what we're going to deliver is a citizen's dream team that incorporates every citizen, every represented group, every special interest group in Zimbabwe. We obviously expect to be able to put our best foot forward in the coming election. The process is going to be expeditious. We've got timelines that have been set for the independent panel, and hopefully those processes will be completed soon so that we're in time for nomination and in time, obviously, for the last get out the vote campaign period. Now, without further ado, that brings to an end today's update. Unless there are any questions anyone may have, we will take a few questions. As usual, please just give us your name, the media house you come from, and then ask one question so that we can have a number. Thank you. If there are no questions, or if everyone's too excited to go to Easter, yes.
My question is that the only nation constitution nomination. Can you confirm that you have received nominations from one movement state of counterpart position?
Well, I can't speak to the panel can speak.
Yeah, so as we have said that we are receiving nominations from the various provinces. I've said that we have received from about 70%, but it's still undergoing capturing and validation. So for now, we can't even go into specifics of such provinces which have not yet been completely dealt with.
So just to put the matter to bed, you're going to get every person who's been competently nominated, their name will be announced. Every single constituency will be reported on by the panel. So you must take note that on Tuesday, we're going to have another election, a candidate selection update for the press, where further nominations are going to be announced by the panel, and Wednesday, hopefully, and Thursday as well, until the group is finished. So on a rolling basis. They were very isolated, to be honest. I mean, it's the case, as I've indicated at the start of the press, that every single citizen's complaint is being forwarded to the commission, which is going to deal with it independently, to ensure that there are safeguards in place to ensure that the process in all instances was transparent. There is no room whatsoever for violence. Wherever a person is fingered and found to have participated in a violent incident, responsible for it, that person is going to be automatically disqualified, because violence is not in the DNA of the CCC. Violence is a Zanu-PF culture, and we will not tolerate any violence whatsoever. If there are no more questions, all that remains is for me to thank you all very much. Like I said, Tuesday is going to be our next update, so please look out for the time of that press. It will be conducted here as well. Thank you very much.